Hey, NASDAQ, we get the best dope on the markets. We are going to get into grains here. I am your host, Alan Palmer. We're going to get into grains here, but let me just briefly go through here. I just was looking through the financials. These are 10-year notes, okay? Very important to me. 112.14, okay? We'll call it 112 half, okay? Here you can see here it's that kind of the high. We're wrestling with it, okay? We're wrestling in this area here. You spring it up. Anyway, we go up here. Just get close to kind of some shorter. Those are decent long-term or olive line sells and a big red. You can see the red is over here, the longest one. And now here we just crossed through here. We're going to see what goes on here with this crude oil. Today is March 15th, Sunday, okay? So you can see we got a couple trend line breakouts, it looks like here. Let me throw this trend line on. What is this, March? This is March. We are in March, actually. So this is, do I have a June note here? Let's just see what the June note looks like. See, I don't really have that many, I don't really that trade this, okay? But if you did, anyway, here 112.10-ish, same kind of thing. This is a plain Jane kind of chart here. These are the same continuous June contracts here. You could do a continuous, but if we're trading on it, we don't want to use that. Here's the same thing, powder blue here. We got a bounce early in the week. Oh, this must have been a flight to quality. Yeah, this was when crude oil opened up and hit 120. Okay, the bonds broke on that, but then that was like a flight to quality here for a day. Okay, and by the end of the week here, we blew right through here. It looks like we're clear. Look at this, we're clearing through some old lows. This would be a look on the downside here. I'm going to spend about 10 seconds on this here. This is the yen. Check out this data here. This is going back a long ways here. Okay, here's the euro currency, 120 and a half, now 114 and a half. We're just looking here. This is some, I believe this is some kind of Chinese stock here. This is the A50. I don't know what, because this was another one of the countries I was like, this is going to be really bearish. Maybe they're beheading people that are shorting. This is orange juice here. We went back here last year. This is an olive buy here. Here, we went down to test it here. Here, this is your next number. Who knows? If you're looking, it's cheap. Relatively speaking, Canadian dollar over here. Here, we printed this olive line here, late 24, 25. I said we're going to talk grains here, so let's get into it here. You know what? Let me go to the May, because May is a little bit... okay, just ignore this trend line here. What are we looking at? That's because we're looking at a month, and if the two trend lines are within a month here, if I turn this to a 60-minute chart, but this is what we've been doing over the last couple of years here. So this is May here. Let's go to a daily. And, okay, so here, we went down to 1050. Here, you see the powder blues? See the powder blues? See how? Okay, we're dicking around. We had some old powder blues, and I had talked about this. Long term, for the last couple years, we've been in a 3-year bear market, or maybe a little longer. I think we made our highs in 21, 22, depends what we're talking exactly, And anyway, so this has been a long bottoming out process here. The funds are now long. These guys were short, and anyway, they flipped long here. So I think you're looking, okay, let's look on the upside. If you're a farmer looking to unload some of your grain here, okay, if you happen to be lucky enough that you got storage or you're paying for storage, okay, these are decent levels. 1240 here. And then 1283 here. This is in the May. Add like 12 cents in the July contract. Okay, and then I got something else in 1316. Okay, let's go to the corn here. Corn all of a sudden now, this is the... beans are kind of getting dragged up here, but corn is also coming back here with a vengeance. We did not take out last Monday's high here. On the upside here, this is May corn. I got something here at 81.5. I got an 82.5 highlighted there. Those are those yellows. These will come off here, by the way, here, just to clean these up here. But these were important to me on the upside. Okay. And above here, what do we got? Something up at 507. That's all the look I want to give on that. This was a long-term breakout. You come back down to it, okay? And now here you got a head and shoulders bottom, and funds are buying. That's corn. Excuse me. Okay, here's May wheat here. Look at this thing. This thing was back up 15 cents here. The trade was, geez Louise, where was it? We were holding higher lows. Oh, it was on a weekly. Here it was. 464.5 here. This low was 463.5. It was a previous weekly low, but look at this. You had this kind of explosiveness, okay? So that player buys, okay, because he's size. You come back down right above there. You got this other trend line here. These are usually candlesticks, these teal lines here, these kind of fluorescent teal. And actually that teal moving average, okay, those are the only time I use these teals. So anyway, here we came back here. If, in fact, you're looking for upside levels. If not, and look at this, we actually had our outside up day. Okay, so that looks pretty positive. I've got an olive line stuck in here, okay? These are just levels here. Okay, let me go to let's go look at, okay, so this is the pit action, okay? So, yeah, you could see some diamonds. That was real buying, okay? So this would be possibly if you're trading in the pit hours, okay? And this is how these levels have been playing here. This is like a 90-minute chart, okay? That's in wheat, okay? There's also some other things here. You want to picture a KC wheat. This is March. That's all I got here. Here's a bean wheat spread here. Okay, this is 1/2 in the wheat. Let's look at oil share. Oil share has exploded here. That is bean oil. Long to bean oil going up is long to bean oil is gaining on short the meal. Okay, it's a content. So we have 50. The content of this contract has 50. Back here, look at this, man. This was when we were at 48.50. 43.70 was some olives, and these might actually have been sells. Yes, they were, okay? So when you come back down into them, they have been known to be launch points. Okay, that's the oil share here. Should we take a peek at gold here since it's Sunday night here? If you want some downside levels here, we closed at 50.23, $2 underneath this red 50.25. I've got some areas down here. I think anything goes. What's the next $500 move here in gold? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But respect the downside. Central banks have been buying gold hand over fist. In my case is they got a big energy problem and the natives might get restless. Okay, you want to know more about that kind of backdrop. So that would be here. This is 49.30 here. You know, if you're looking to buy some gold. Now listen, one day one of these levels might hold, the next day another level might hold. That's the way these algos work, okay? You use them as pivots. So just take a pause that and you can look at that. Let's go look at, should we look at, oh, I did say, you know what? Let me go finish off with the grains here. This is bean oil. This is made bean oil here. This is a peak on the upside, man. This thing we just want, the same thing here, 48.50 up to 70. We did trade 70 in the overnight session. The overnight sessions are the banks are not around here. Here's the meal here. You know what? Commitment to traders is going to be really interesting here, and it is out here. I don't know if I'm going to get in and brush through it here, but and leave me a comment if you like that. What I do is I learn from a billionaire, you know, and what you pick up out of the commitment to traders. Now listen, that could change here, and I'm just picking it up in a macro. Funds buying funds, you know, what's the hot money doing? We want to make money right here, right now. So this is meal, okay? As you can see here, this is 2016, okay? We made a run at those prices. This was olive line support. Look at this. It holds, and then look at this. They just beat the snot out of it. 20 bucks. 29 would be 10%, you know, so they blew that thing through there for one bar. Except this is a month. Was this July? June. Okay. So this was legit going into first notice day. So that kind of reminds me of corn in I think it was in 24, February 24, where they just go down there and then you just buy it first notice day. You know, in this particular example. Now listen, these would be the old Julys, so you'd be substituting August or something because those are in delivery. And then you'd roll. This is then over here. This would be a new contract. So that's meal here. Here, you want to see a scary chart here? This is the NASDAQ, okay? The NASDAQ 100 futures. And you say, I can't see anything. Anyway, here's where we closed right here. Okay, here's where we closed. There's some support I have there. We've tested it 5 times, okay? So buckle up, babe, because, well, these would be targets. Actually, this is a pretty good area here. If you were just asking me right now, hedge funds are short. You got private credit problems, okay? Liquidity issues. I think this is set up to break here. Anyway, so this looks at 22. You know what? Let's just call it all twos. 22, 222, 20. Okay? That's close enough. So currently we're at 24. So that'd be about another 2,000 points lower. Okay? It's a big move. That's big, you know. And this was on this break right here was Liberation Day. You can come over here. Yeah, absolutely. That'll be an area. For some reason, I have 24,000 highlighted here. I don't know if that's a low or something like that. So that's just a look at the NASDAQ there, just real fast. Top left-hand corner here, I'll just talk crude oil here. Now listen, we might open sharply higher here, okay? That was 115. As a matter of fact, that was 115 here. Here's your numbers. And then you got some targets up there at 129 and 132. Stuck in the middle of there is another olive line. 124 is this olive line, okay? That'd be if one was looking. Maybe you shoot for it also, but then you sell it against it. Looking for an olive line to sell. I think West Texas Intermediate, which is what this is, CLEJ, that's WTI. I think these are going to be great selling. Now listen, this is a fun option, okay? So maybe you're looking to sell a back month when that happens. Here, 99.30 in the April, 99.30, so $2. So the May is $2 less, okay? Because they could have somebody stuck short. Absolutely. And, okay, so 97. Let's just see what August is at. 97.85. Okay, here we go. Oh, no. This is the bogus data that they give you, okay? This is like Friday. Friday the 13th. We didn't close there. We closed at 85. See how they dick around with that? They just give you that bogus data if you get the delayed quotes. Just on the last one, okay? But all the other stuff is good. So should I move it over like that? Here. So we closed at 85.28. Okay, so we closed right under this red. So here, you got to, this will be August. This will be how you'd be looking at this, okay? You're looking at these levels here. 98 is a green. And then over here, you got another green. Okay, I am going to have these levels on the way up. 108. Okay, you're looking for something. You know, that'd be 30% higher, you know, in the August, okay? This is going to be by the time August, right before the midterms, Trump's got gas back down to $1.80. You know, anything goes. Okay, so we're going to call this a wrap. If you need something, email me. Figure out a way for me to get knowledge to you, whether that's in a learning, okay? If you got your own algo, if you got your own rules, okay? Everybody's got a different trader profile, okay? So email me, ARP@NASDOG, or stop over there. Pick up that VIP program. But still email me because I don't check it every day, okay? This isn't that, you know, this is a kind of a customized thing. Futures is a smaller crowd, but if you trade stocks also, you know, hey, what about NVIDIA? Well, you know, I do have NVIDIA, but all the other big name stocks, you know, Dow stocks and things like that, all those. All right. ARP at NASDOG. Thanks for watching. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk.